Hey everyone. I'm going to apologize now because I am sick. So if I sound funny or like I know my eyes are super puffy and I probably look like hell, but I didn't want to miss this video because to me this is an important video and I do videos every Saturday. So I'm going to be covering two things in this video. One is cleansing and charging stones, and the other one is Book of Shadows and Grimoire. So first, we'll go over the cleansing of the stones. And there are a couple of different methods that you can use to do this. The first one is you can use the elements to cleanse it. Some people do like a whole ritual where they pass it through each one of the elements. This is great. However, some stones might be heat sensitive or they're water sensitive, so they don't handle water. They might start to dissolve or wear away pretty easily when it comes in contact with water. So you definitely want to be careful with that. Some people will take, excuse me, a bowl of sea salt, excuse me, and they will put the stone buried in the sea salt, or you can even bury it outside into the earth, into the soil, or if you have a potted plant, you can do that as well. You can also, one of my favorite ways to cleanse is to use sage and, just use visualization as I sage the stones. Some people also use Tibetan singing bowls. I have one and I forgot to grab it before I started this video. But basically it's just a bowl that you hold in your hand and you have a wooden piece and you just go around and it creates this really nice sound. But there's also YouTube videos, or if you have like maybe a piano or a keyboard at home, there are certain frequencies that are said to cleanse stones. So you can actually search on Google frequency that cleanses stones, not on Google, I'm sorry, on YouTube, and it will pop up videos that you play. You put all your stones in front of the speaker and you play the video and the frequency plays and it said, they said that it cleanses the stones. So that is as far as cleansing them. Now as far as charging them, really, really easy. There are three different methods that you can use to charge your stones. One, you can put it out into the sun, all day, and you can let the sun charge it, or you can put it out under the full moon overnight, and that will charge your stone as well. Or if this is not an option, I know that some people, don't have, windows that have access to the sunlight or the moonlight, whatever the case may be. Some people live in shady areas or whatever, but some people have small children. They're afraid to put the stones in their mouth. So if that's the case, you can actually charge your stones just using yourself. You can just sit there and you can concentrate and meditate and visualize, this power going into your stone. You're charging, you're getting ready for use, you're giving it a purpose. You can even say something appropriate to the purpose. Something short and sweet, or it could be as lengthy as you want it to be. That's the wonderful thing about this path, is that it is as individual as you, and you can match it and pair it to what seems like if I have to speak English, like a right fit for you. So really easy. That's cleansing and charging stones. And sorry, I have a lozenge in my mouth because I caught some virus over the holidays and it's kicking my behind. Some elderberry in the face. So, alright. Now the Book of Shadows. I have my notes here because it is a lot. And I wanted to make sure I covered all bases. What is a Book of Shadows? This is a book where you write your rituals and other magical information. Your Book of Shadows is a secret tool and an item of power and should be treated as such. It should be well taken care of, as with any magical tool. So, with your Book of Shadows, you can put Some people have a Book of Shadows as well as a grimoire. Some people have just a Book of Shadows. Um, it really depends on what you want to have and if how you where you want to store your information. But we will go through all of that as we continue. What does a Book of Shadows look like? You can buy a Book of Shadows, or you can make a leather-bound Book of Shadows if you choose to do so. And I will add if you have the artistic ability. I'm an artist. I paint, but you couldn't. Nobody could pay me enough money to make a book. I'm not not artistically inclined to make a Book of Shadows. Um, so they are really pretty, and they have an antique look to them. This is like the leather bound Book of Shadows. Even though they're pretty, this is not necessary. You can use a notebook or a 3-ring binder. The choice is yours. Some people even store their Book of Shadows via technology. They have their little SD card they pop in, or their I am not technologically savvy, so if I say something wrong, I apologize. But excuse me, the thing that you insert there, it's not an SD card. It's oh goodness, I don't know what it's called. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about though. You put it in, you can like transfer data back and forth. But some people have their Book of Shadows on that. Some people have it in a notebook. I personally have my Book of Shadows in a 3-ring binder. And I use page protectors because it's easy for me to take the pages out that I need. And the page protectors protect my pages from candle wax, water, ash from incense, sage, whatever. So that's the method that I choose. But that's right for me. You may choose something else. I wrote here, I personally love using a 3-ring binder with protector sheets. Top reasons why. Even though I just said it, I'll read it anyway. Protector sheets save information from wax or any liquids. It's easy to add and remove information. It's inexpensive, and it's a lot of space for information. So if you get like a 1-inch binder, you have some room in there, but you really don't have like a lot of room if you have a lot of information. I use a 4-inch binder, and it's pretty massive, and it's packed full of stuff, and I honestly don't know if I could fit anything else in there, but that's why I like it so much, because it's so modifiable, I guess. I don't know if that's a word, but it is now, because I just used it. But it's easy for me to modify according to my needs. So if I want to take something out and add something else, or if I just want to add something else or just take something out, it's very easy to do so. Should you handwrite or print your pages? You can do either. There is no right or wrong way. I personally handwrite my information. I'm sorry, excuse me. Let me just get the back of my throat wet. I'm telling you, being sick is no fun. But of course, it was fun, then everybody would want to get sick. So, alright, so you can do either. There is no right or wrong way. I personally handwrite my information because it helps me remember the information that I'm putting into my book. And not to mention, my energy is infused with the pages. What you put into your Book of Shadows is completely up to you. Here are some good things to have in your Book of Shadows. As far as my opinion, I will add that in there because, not everybody will agree. So this is just according to my opinion. Here are some of the things that I have in my Book of Shadows. I have the Wiccan Read. I have, now if you're a witch and you're not a Wiccan, obviously this is something that you would not put in your Book of Shadows. But I have the Wiccan Read. I have a dedication ritual. I have my Sabbath rituals. I have my Espit rituals. I have anything that holds special meaning to me that is Wiccan related. Or even like witchcraft related. I have correspondence tables. I have herbs and their uses, and magical recipes and divination practices. So that is, some of the information that I have in in my book of shadows. But I also have my spells, and I used to store my spells separately. And some people, may do the same, but I used to store them separately. Now I have them kind of all in one binder, and I just have like these dividers that are all labeled because it's much easier for me to find what I'm looking for, and I have to like search different books. And the only way that I'll have another book is if I run out of room and I really need to start another one. But it just becomes too much. You know, Practicing shouldn't be a hassle. Practicing should be easy, and we want to make it as easy as possible for us to achieve that. To, make it not work. We don't want it to be work. We want it to be, something that comes natural to us. I'm sorry, but I have a horrible tickle. I can feel the tickle in the back of my throat. Okay, so now we're going to go into a grimoire. What is a grimoire? This is a book of magic spells and invocations. However, you can put whatever information that suits you in your grimoire. Now, I have a grimoire, but I use mine to track my spells. So I have my actual spells in my book of shadows, but my grimoire, the way I have it, I use it like it's like a graphing book, and it's easy for me to like date it, what I use, what the spell was, and that way when let's say if I do one for money, if money comes in, I will write that down. So I track when I did my spell, if there were any results, what those results were, all of that. So, okay. Excuse me. So the difference between a grimoire and a book of shadows is that a book of shadows is a grimoire specific to the practice of Wicca. It was a term originally coined to describe the ritual texts of Wicca. This word found its way into the broader world of witchcraft. For all non-Wiccan witches, the term to use is grimoire. So that kind of clears up some confusion between the difference between the two of them. The types of grimoires that there are. One is a spell book, which is essentially a recipe book for spells. Two is journal style. This is written chronologically rather than being split up into subject-based sections. Each entry is typically dated, and that's what I have in my grimoire. I have nothing else but chronologically recorded spells that I've done. 3 is a pocket grimoire, which is a small pocket-sized notebook that contains the essentials. And that's different for everyone. That's why I put it in quotations. What are the essentials? That depends on your path, and it depends on you. Number 4 is a book of dreams, similar to journal style in that it's written chronologically with dated entries. Primarily used to record dreams, but also a great place to record astral travel and meditations as well. Number 5 is subject specific. So each grimoire would only contain info on whatever subject that would be assigned to that grimoire. Example is herbal magic. You'll have one grimoire for herbs and their purposes. The other one might be astrology. The other one might be tarot, sigil, craft, etc. Number 6 is religious grimoire. And this is to document personal religion. Recording information like beliefs, letter to your deities, devotional acts, Sabbaths, etc. And number 7 is the mashup. And this is a mix of all of the above, with the exception of the subject specific, because you can't mix everything but yet have a subject specific. So that's the only one that's the exception of. So that was just like a quick run through of Book of Shadows and Grimoires and cleansing and charging your stones. So I hope this was helpful for you, And I look forward to seeing you next week. And I hope that I am not sick then. Bye.